Look at this. See the movie and you're going to understand what this means.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you for this. What a joyful experience.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
such a blast. I was cheering. At one point, I wanted to get up and dance. It was just such a fun movie experience. I can't wait for everyone
It's funny
to watch
because
it.
when I saw Top Gun Maverick, that's what happened to me in the movie theater. I was like cheering up and standing up, and also what that movie meant for movie theaters and for our moviegoers going back to the theater.
I love that you said this was a reinvigorating experience for you. So, to quote Billy Bean from Moneyball, because why not? How can you not be romantic about baseball? So my question is, how can you not be romantic about F1?
Impossible. It's a sport I've loved for some time, and put this idea that a film is going to embed itself into the racing season, it's just madness. It's madness.
It doesn't make sense on paper.
and yet, man, it worked so beautifully.
I love an underdog story, and Team Apex is such a good underdog story. It leaves you feeling motivated and inspired to go out there. As two creatives that take big risks, how did you connect to their against all odds path to F1 glory?
Wow, I guess from coming from a small inner city area in London, I'm from southeast London, and this huge feat of Hollywood, that's how I kind of related to Joshua. He's from East London, Hackney, and here he is trying to integrate himself into the 2022 in our movie greatest drivers in the world. It's not a simple feat, but you have to be driven, you have to be confident to pull it off. So I think that's how I related to Josh.
Yeah, and I suppose with me, I've always wanted to be an actress, and particularly a character actress. And so when I would have watched those Jerry Bruckheimer movies growing up, it was never an Irish accent as the female lead, ever. It was always somebody so far removed from who I was. So that for me was major accomplishment, and I felt ready for such a massive role and responsibility. I feel like I earned it at this stage in my career.
I mean, what are both of you going to take away from this experience when it comes to Sonny's enduring love of racing? This idea that no matter what happens, you stick to it because you love it.
I love that moment of Sonny's confession in the balcony when he tells why, what does that mean to him. And it really made me emotional when I heard him saying those words, because it means a lot to us as individuals when we get our passion and we happen to do what we love. It's how blessed we are, no? And sometimes when we do our job, those moments can happen for a second, and only because of that second, it's absolutely worth it.
And I love that Sonny almost has this spiritual view of racing when he talks about when everything goes quiet.
Yeah, this actually came from a 12-hour script session with Lewis.
All right.
And Sir Lewis Hamilton, who's our producer as well, and really opened up this movie for us. But he had described this kind of out-of-body experience, this kind of sublime feeling at moments that they hit on the track. And I certainly experienced something close to that, certainly not to the level those guys do.
Man, I want to feel that now. I want to feel it.
It's such a high. It is such a high. I can't even explain it. It's such a high.
You've shared that this all started with an email to Sir Lewis Hamilton, who blows my mind, was in talks to be in Top Gun Maverick, but here we are with this. I mean, what was your goal with that email, and what answer did you get back?
My goal is it was a Hail Mary, I guess you could say. I wanted to desperate to tell a story in this world, and I knew the best way to do that was to have a partner who kind of knew it better than anyone. And Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion, I knew he was a film buff, so I asked him if he would be interested in helping us out on making this film, and luckily he said yes. So he introduced Jerry and I and Brad to kind of the world of Formula One, invited us to the races, and kind of started that whole process.
Damson, you're so good in this.
Thank you.
As the youngest of a very big family, you've shared that your family is very eager, very excited to watch this. How did you channel that enthusiasm into JP, who as a character has massively high expectations when he hits the track?
Man, it's just about doing it for a greater cause. For JP, he really wants to make his mother proud. He wants to make his father proud, who's no longer there. And I could relate to that, just wanted to make my family proud. And, showing up on set and working with some of the greatest like artists in the world and having them be humble and all equally assist in making me win was just a dream come true.
I don't know, where do you go from here? Like, the bar has been set so high.
I know, earlier Brad was like, yeah, it's funny because earlier Brad was like, man, it's such a brilliant feeling to have such a long career and then hit moments like this where you have these brilliant highs that remind you of why you decided to become an actor. And he was like, it's unlucky for you.
Yeah.
That's what he said to me. Yeah.
You've been chasing that feeling.
I know, yeah, I'm gonna be chasing it. Like, come on, man.
Oh, no.
F1 was way better than this.
You have one of the best movie entrances in this, by the way. A Gucci suit, a good-looking Gucci suit in a laundromat.
An laundromat. Yeah, look at
So
that.
ridiculous.
The man can wear a suit.
You look really good. And I just love that that's how we are introduced to the really wonderful friendship that goes way back, playback with Sonny and Ruben. I mean, how did your real life history with each other inform this dynamic? Did you have something to draw on for this?
Did we meet in the 90s? We met a long
We
time
met
ago.
a long time ago.
Long
yeah.
time ago.
But not for long.
No,
I mean,
no, just in passing or occasional dinner.
but, in my case, I knew it was going to go perfectly well because the way he works, the way he is, I go, it's gonna happen, and it happened, and it happened while we were doing it, and that's a great thing. It's very inspiring to see that you are creating a relationship while you are portraying it, rather than being planned priorly.
Yeah, it was great fun. In fact, and our first scene was on the racing grid right before the race started. We got like 2 takes, and it was just a great energy to it all.
Just show up,
And you
have
feel
fun.
it. You feel it in the
Exactly.
movie.
What was it about their dynamic that really helped bring this to life? Because their chemistry, the history of their characters really does add a lot of depth and a lot of layer to this movie.
Well, I think that the fact that they portray those characters so beautifully, and the way that the story is written and what they ad-lib together, what they bring together, they're so respectful of each other's talent. They're so gifted actors, and they loved making the movie. It was a joyous experience. Joe kept it always light and fun, and it shows on the screen. It shows how much fun they're having. And Javier, when he saw the movie, he got up and started dancing. He just had the best time watching the movie, and you felt it when he was making it. You felt that joy.
You were living, breathing F1. You were right there in the races, in the trenches with the real F1 drivers. I mean, is the energy as magnetic as it feels when you're watching this movie?
Every bit as electric as you think it would be. And I mean, we all were making the film had such reverence for the sport and so much respect for these drivers. It's a bit humbling when the first few races that we're at, and so we're just trying not to be in the way. Year and a half later, man, it was like our own backyard, and it's an incredible world. Wow.
How much do you miss it?
I miss it.
Yeah.
I do.
Have you got the full F1 experience other than driving a car? So can you break down for me that energy, the champagne showers on the podium, the walking through the paddock? Like, what gives F1 this larger-than-life quality?
I think it's all a huge bet to seconds or milliseconds, and that can change so many things in that short period of time. The stakes are so high that emotionally and mentally and physically for them, speaking is at the top level. So even these people that own so much money and they put so much money in it, the way they live it, it's very emotional, and I love that. I love seeing that. Like, they are not machines. There are people that have put everything they know and they are capable of into that race, and it's all or nothing.
Kerry, you're phenomenal in this. You got to live out my Ocean's 11 fantasy, though, like playing poker with Rusty Ryan himself, Brad Pitt. I mean, how did you keep your game face on when you were shooting with Damson and Brad in Vegas, and then also just keep your cool on the track? Because Kate means business.
The Vegas scene there was so much props aspect to it that, like, that, you know, there was a lot to concentrate on. Right? It was a 2-day shoot, that movie, that scene. So that was more, I had to concentrate. There wasn't a lot of fun, even though we were having a lot of fun by the end because we were losing our minds by the end.
It was hot in there too. It was getting ripe in there.
And smoky.
Yeah, and then we had all these little marbles that we had to make sure the continuity, do you remember?
Yes.
And we kept stealing each other's marbles. I had more marbles.
Yes. And
the
you were
three of us.
you were
We had
messing
seven.
with them. So that was more, yes, concentrating, and then when we got giddy, you know, we were reprimanded to concentrate. And then on the track, I have to say, like, it was a lot of fun, you know, and Joseph really encouraged us to have fun. So while it was high pressure, we were very prepared, and we were given a lot of time to prepare the scenes, and the headsets had Brad and Damson in them. So there was a lot covered to make it very natural and easy for us.
So this morning I went for a run in Central Park, just trying to get healthy, and I couldn't help but imagine what it would be like to be on the track with Team Apex, just going for a jog. So be honest, was there a Brad Pitt-led run club? Did you step up and rally the team?
No, that would involve running.
Okay, so not a runner.
Right? No, I'm gonna drive.
You know what? It was our first AD, Toby Hefferman, who led a run club every night after rap, and they would run every track that we shot at. So
Wow.
they went all around the world. So, you know, I didn't have the energy to do it. They certainly did. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Great athletes typically have pre-race things that they're superstitious about, and we see that with Sonny. He's got the card, he goes for a run, he's got the socks. So in the spirit of socks, because I love socks, as you can see, I got you both a little something.
No, really?
As a little, just,
Oh my God.
You guys are busy with the
Hey.
press tour.
Hey.
So Canadiana inspired mixed match.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Just,
Look at
you
this.
know,
See the movie and you're going to understand what this means.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then you get a
Right.
bonus pair because we know you're such a big Letterkenny fan and our network airs it. So some pitter patter socks for you.
I want pitter patter socks. Not
Thank you
just
so
Letterkenny,
much.
but also some Shoresy.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
listen, Shoresy's good. Jared Kiso is a genius.
Pitter.
Oh, wow. All right, there you
I know you
go.
got to educate. Have
Yeah.
needs to see. It's super Canadian.
I'll enlighten
it's
you.
Great.
All right.
I'll enlighten you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Listen, I'm here for function and fashion.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Congrats so much. I appreciate your
Good thing you
time.
have us in this way.